Good evening. My name is Robert Ryan, and today I'll be doing a speech to inform you about the invention and history of tattoos. Now, we've all walked around and we've seen people with tattoos and thought, wow, that's some pretty amazing artwork. And all thought about the processes of how it got done and where it came from, and that's what I'll be telling you about today. I'll be covering a few main points, one being the history of tattooing, the reasoning behind it, some of the reasons. Secondly, the technology, how we've grown from the techniques used in ancient times to where we are today. Now we're all attracted somehow to tattoos, whether that be just as spectators or the actual canvas for an artist to work on. So how exactly did that start? Tattoo, the word tattoo is actually derived from a Tahitian word tattoo, which means to mark something. And back in the ancient societies, they used tattoos for many different reasons. It could be religious status. It could be your place in society or your clan. The ranking. The higher ranking members have more tattoos. The lesser ranking members having less tattoos. Or even to indicate criminals. Back in the ancient Chinese society, the first time you committed an offense, they would draw a line on your head. The second time, they would draw an arch. And the third time another line through it, which is kind of spread to that three-strike method we know of today. So, if you were a criminal that kept committing offenses, you were obviously stand out. Now, the techniques used to get tattoos is obviously spread and enhanced over many decades and generations. The Eskimos were actually some of the first people to give tattoos. And they would take just bones or any sharp instrument with some ink, and they would just lightly tap the skin over and over and over until that skin or the ink would settle into the outer layer of the skin, and eventually just lay in there for your tattoo. Now today we've obviously upgraded, and we have tattoo guns that run off voltage and at a very rapid pace. So tattoos that would normally take days or maybe even weeks can now be done in a couple hour session, no problem, with much more color and detail. And so now that you know a little more about the tattoos and where they came from, let's just go over what we talked about today. Firstly, we talked about the history of it, where it came from, the words and the ways they would indicate tattoos and why they were used. And secondly, some of the techniques used as far as the bones or any sharp instrument for that matter, and the tapping to where we are now with the tattoo guns. So I hope you enjoyed the speech. If you have any questions, please ask.